No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the bliss out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, Paul's got the right idea. Let's all stand up and join Paul. This is who we are, and we feel the love whenever we're together. This is why we're here, to serve the world and one another. We're being called to find a higher way, and to remember why we're here today, to love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. This is where we grow and find the truth that always sets us free. This is where we play and enjoy like-minded company, a place where we can share our joy and pain, a place where everybody knows your name as we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And in remembering to love and serve, we're transforming lives that transform the world when we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And remember who we are. And remember who we are.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Renaissance. What a beautiful Sunday morning, isn't it? Ooh, man, loving these cooler temperatures. Feeling so good. Thank you for being here to spend part of your Sunday with us, and thank you to those of you online who are watching with us today. We are sending out our love and prayers and appreciation to each and every one of you as well. We have a few things that we're celebrating this weekend here at Unity Renaissance. One of them is yesterday was Richard's birthday, and he's up at Unity of Charlottesville today, giving the talk up there. But we're celebrating his birthday this weekend. Today, I also want to congratulate Steve and Amber McCullough. It's their 27th wedding anniversary. I know they're watching online, so some great things to celebrate. And as is true in a spiritual community, often there are things to celebrate, but there are also some hard things to work through as well, some sadness. And I know many of you have read in the paper and perhaps learned on Facebook that last week we lost one of our very beloved longtime members here at Unity Renaissance. It came as quite a shock, actually. Kim Ross made her transition. And she hasn't been here in a little while, but you may know Kim actually through her beautiful daughters, Olivia and Maria, who often are part of multi-gen services, play the piano, sing, guitar, etc. Kim was just 53 years old. And so our hearts are really hurting over this. And just a reminder of how really precious life is, and how precious is our time together. So we just give thanks for this spiritual community, and we give thanks that Kim was with us for the time that she was, because we know her spirit really is an embedded part of Unity Renaissance and always will be. We just send our love and prayer out to her family. The family is requesting at this point that they just have their privacy. And I know the tendency when we know someone's hurting is to rush forward and try to offer support and be there for them. And they've been very clear that they would rather not have that right now. They just want some time to themselves. And I'm sure when the time is right, they'll let us know that any way we can be of help. We are absolutely sending out lots of love and healing prayers to that family. Well, Unity is positive, practical, progressive Christianity. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. Truly, it's all about love. From the beautiful consciousness of love here at Unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you beautiful souls, looking so radiant, so beautiful this morning, and each and every one of you watching online is an expression of God. That's just the coolest thing. We know that when we really tune into that truth, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, when we know ourselves as that and we connect with that divine light within us and we behold it in one another, that beautiful light just grows and grows, and it shines out ever more brightly to light up the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Way to go, you guys. Said it like you mean it. Let's begin our time of transformation this morning in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, taking in a deep breath on this beautiful morning, filling your lungs with the energy of spirit. Release and let go into the oneness of all that is. As we come together this morning in spiritual community, we are so grateful for the truth that we are one, for the knowing that we are all connected now and always. We take a moment in our time of prayer to hold very tenderly in our hearts the Belling family, in their loss of Kim. Take a moment to really bless Kim for the incredibly bright, beautiful light that she was and is. And we bless her in her soul's ongoing journey, knowing that now she is free and unlimited, and that in another way we shall meet again. We send our prayers of love and comfort and assurance to Olivia and Maria and their father, and to all affected by this. We know that as we turn to love, we find the strength to move through our grieving. And we come through it just stronger. And for these many truths, for the preciousness of life, for the joy of sharing it on this day and the days that follow, we're so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
So let's all join Paul Mitchum in standing again. Thank you, Paul. There you go. There you go. All right. Thank you. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. and it won't let go. Something wonderful, hey, yeah, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, hey, yeah, I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, hey, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now.
All right, it's time for us to make something wonderful happen. I invite you to join me in our divinity salute as we turn to greet our neighbors in a bow, a handshake, or a hug. Together, the divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God. Woo.
Oh, this love inside, we can let it shine. Yeah, yeah, something wonderful. Whoa, whoa, something wonderful happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Ready, everybody? Woo! Something wonderful. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Paul Mitchum. I'll be your platform host. And that was something wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Boyd and Lily and David. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Peace in the world is sometimes elusive. And you hear a lot about problems with peace and settling peace. And people talk about, never seeing Middle East peace and peace in the neighborhood and peace between friends and family, whatever, out there in the world. It's kind of hard to control that, but within yourself, you can always choose to have inner peace. And so that's today's daily word, inner peace. Please join me in saying today's affirmation together. I allow the peace of God to flow through me now. When I am stressed by the busyness of my day, I remember the peace of God is as close as my next thought. No matter what is happening around me, I can always choose to experience a deep inner peace. Finding peace requires no strenuous effort, but only my permission and cooperation. Exhaling all tension. I inhale peace. Peace calms my thoughts and emotions and relaxes my body. With each breath, peace fills me and radiates from me. I continue to draw from this deep well of peace as I resume my daily activities with renewed energy and a quickened awareness of the infinite presence. And the Bible scripture is from the book of Philippians, the 4th chapter, the 6th and 7th verse. I'll read. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and by petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. So we have prayer chaplains for your prayer needs today. You can join the prayer chaplains in the North X, which is outside the sanctuary to the left, and our prayer chaplains can be recognized by the beautiful prayer stoles. Our prayer chaplains, please stand up. We have Debbie and Shelley, and so happy to have you here this morning. Thank you, and let's all stand for the singing of the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us all our debts, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Please be seated.
It's all about allowing peace within, an absolute surrender, so serenity begins. For when the storm subsided and calm becomes the way, it's all about allowing it to stay. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease the struggle and love pours through your heart, it's all about allowing to start. Now feel it warm and shining. Knew it promised strong, undying love, different than any you had known. And now the sea is song. It's all about allowing change to show, and living in the moment like it's all you ever know. And though it won't be easy, you can truly say you've tried, for it's all about allowing it inside. And now the sea is song. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and then simply letting go. For as you cease the struggle and the course through your heart, it was all about allowing. All about allowing it to start.
Several years ago, before my son Ben got married, he asked Richard and me what the secret was to a happy marriage. I immediately said, unconditional love. And Richard said, low expectations. Followed by separate bathrooms and a king-size bed. So, those last two were fine, but my immediate response was, low expectations? Really, Richard? Is it that bad for you? I mean, it sounded as if he had given up all hope. And he said, no, that's not what I meant. He said, what I meant was that if you have low expectations, you're never disappointed. And then whatever comes your way is a gift. I thought, okay, there's truth in that. I see that. Whenever we expect others to be or act a certain way, you could say we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. And Dean Slider talks about this in his book that we are studying these 5 Sundays, the Zen Commandments. And he refers to this practice. It's actually the 7th of the 10 suggestions he offers for a life of inner freedom. He calls it no appointment, no disappointment. So in other words, let go of your expectations. See, don't bank on things to be a certain way. He says this, if you don't build your world on expectations, it doesn't collapse when things turn out different. This is not resignation, but liberation. Liberation. To let go of our expectations. We all have expectations. Many of them are integral to our daily lives. We expect the sun to come up in the morning. We expect our hearts to be beating. We expect the church to be here when we pull into the parking lot. We expect the lights to come on when we flip the switch, right? And so many other things. It really simplifies our lives to know to expect those things. But we also have other expectations, and these are expectations that we place on ourselves and others about how to be and how to act. And the underlying belief is that if these expectations are met, we'll be happy. We'll be happy. And so, for example, we might have an expectation for ourselves that we're going to be wildly successful, or we're going to be famous, or we're going to be spiritually enlightened. We might expect others to love us in the way we want them to. We may expect life to turn out the way we have planned. Can you see how with each of those we could be setting ourselves up for disappointment? So most of us have heard that saying, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him or her your plans, right? Yeah, because life doesn't work that way. And Dean Slider sort of rephrases that. He says, we build models of the future in our minds, but the actual world has a mind of its own. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner that we can live in peace and freedom. Yes, that what is, is. So, there's really nothing wrong with having expectations. It would be hard to not have expectations, to live without them. The problem occurs when we stake our happiness on them. When we say, this is the way it has to be in order for me to be fulfilled or for my dreams to come true. And when we put that much importance on it, we tend to kind of cling on, kind of white knuckle it, right? It's got to be this way. It doesn't have to be that way. And quite often, it isn't that way. It isn't that way at all. We may think that we need this to be happy, but even that isn't true. But because this particular thing didn't materialize the way we expected, it doesn't mean we'll never be happy. It just means we need to accept what is and make some adjustments. When I got married the first time, I really expected that was going to be forever. I did. It was built on this dream and expectation that I would live happily ever after with my husband and our 2 children. Well, it didn't work out that way. What was so hard for me was not only that I lost the marriage, but I lost the dream of how my life would be. I lost a vision of what happiness would look like. And I remember feeling like when that occurred, that it felt like someone had taken my life and ripped it up into 1,000 pieces and thrown it up in the air. But I had to let go of my expectations, my old expectations, in order to be open to new possibilities. I had to be willing to accept what is and then move on from that. You see, life is unpredictable. Life is never the way we think it's going to be. It's never the way we plan for it to be. Well, maybe once in a while. But by and large, life has a mind of its own, as they say. But here's the thing. We don't have to rise and fall with every up and down that occurs in our lives. We don't have to make that the center of our existence or our identity and go through these tumultuous occurrences. On the spiritual path, it's the beauty of the spiritual path. We can learn to keep our balance. We can learn that the source of happiness isn't simply being. It's in simply being. Outer things come and go, good and bad things happen to us, but we are that larger presence. I had a Buddhist teacher in Portland, Oregon. I really loved this one thing she said to me. I've never forgotten it. She said, freedom is in knowing yourself as the clearing in which everything is allowed to arise and pass. Everything is allowed to arise and pass. You see, we are not what happens to us. We are the I.am of pure presence. When we know ourselves as that, we are that clearing in which everything is allowed to arise and pass. Can you feel even how centering it is to have that thought? things will come and go, but our happiness is not directly related to those things. It's in the great I am presence. You see, the more we anchor ourselves in that, the more we know ourselves in that, the more we frequent that consciousness and live from that consciousness, the easier it is for us to let go of our attachment to how things should be. Right? It is easier for us to accept what is. Of course, we will always have our preferences. We will always have our wishes. But what we learn is to sort of hold them lightly. Hold them lightly. Of course, we may dedicate ourselves to it. But if circumstances change, we know we can let go of that and make a course correction. You see, all of this helps us when we know ourselves as spirit, when we know ourselves as divine beings, we can more easily accept what is. And this is so vitally important, because what is. Really, it is. It is. And no amount of whining or complaining or protesting or resisting is going to change it. It is, as they say, it is what it is. And so we always have a choice, you see. Are we going to accept that, or are we going to resist it? And the problem is a lot of times we do resist it, and when we resist, we make it worse. When we resist what is, in fact, we suffer. So here's a small, but I believe illustrative example. Last week, I went into Harris Teeter to buy some groceries, just a few things. And when it came time to pay, I gave the cashier I actually took my debit card and put it in the machine, and it rejected my card. That is very strange. I had plenty of money in the account. The card worked a few days ago. Tried it again. Clearly, my card was not working. Now, at this point, I had two choices. Just as you have choices when presented with any outer occurrence or event, I could either accept it or I could resist it. The accepting response would be, oh, my card is not working. I better get in touch with the bank and figure out what is going on. Meanwhile, I'll pay in cash and go on our merry way. The resisting response is, I can't believe my card's not working. It has to work. It worked just fine the other day. Let's try it again. Let's try another machine. This just can't be happening to me. What is wrong? You know what? I am so tired of my bank. This bank, it's always something. Maybe this is my sign that I should change to another bank. What if someone has hacked into my account? Just what I don't need. Ugh, this is so embarrassing. I'm holding up the line. Oh, maybe I just need to pay in cash. All right. You get the point, right? Yeah, one, you're going with the flow, you're taking it in stride, you're moving on, and the other, man, this became a big, big deal. Sometimes when I'm very centered, I can be in that first mode of operation. As you may have guessed, I wasn't completely there in this situation, although I was aware that I was causing my own suffering. Well, in case you're wondering, as it turned out, I had given my debit card to Richard the previous day to get gas, and I forgot to tell him I had a new PIN number. So I put in the old PIN number 3 times, and it locked the account, all of which was very easily remedied by a trip to the bank. So this is an illustrative example of what happens in our lives all the time. Is it not true? The question is not how did I respond when I'm standing there with my debit card frustrated. The question is how do you respond when life hands you something unexpected, when people disappoint you, things don't turn out the way you thought that they would. You see, anytime we resist what is, anytime we do not accept people as they are, we are going to suffer. And this manifests in our life. You'll notice it in yourself if you're thinking things like, why can't he be more considerate? Why can't she be more affectionate? I'm so nice to this person. Why can't they be nice to me as well? You see, we're expecting something that really isn't going to happen probably. You know, I love what Maya Angelou said. She said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. You don't have to keep repeating this over and over and over, the same disappointment, the same disillusionment, the same, no, you're not who I thought you were, no, whatever it is. Believe them the first time. Because as long as you continue to insist and press on them and push for them to be different than they are, you really, honestly, you're torturing yourself. And you are torturing the relationship. But it doesn't have to be that way. Instead, we can simply accept what is and go on from there. You see, accept what is doesn't mean being complacent. It means taking that in as information to now inform what we will do going forward. And I love this idea of sort of Eastern wisdom, this idea of so. You're like, so, oh, okay, oh, now this. Now this is what is. Now this is what is presenting before me. Now what? Now what? What am I going to do with this? You see, those are the key questions. Here's the truth. Deep, abiding contentment does not come from our clinging to and craving transient things. It doesn't. The deep contentment lies in accepting what is and appreciating people for who they are. Great freedom in that. And this is really what Jesus teaches when he talks about the kingdom of heaven. So this is reported in the Gospel of the Beloved Companion as well as the Gospel of Thomas. And his disciple Thomas asks him, goes to Jesus, and he says, "When will the kingdom of heaven come?" Jesus responds, "It will not come by watching for it. It will not be said, 'Look here,' or 'Look there.' Rather, the kingdom is spread out upon the earth, and people do not see it." You see, the kingdom of heaven is already here, if we simply have eyes to see it. If we simply get outside of our mind games and our ego games and behold, honestly, the amazing wonders of life. This is the kingdom of heaven. The beauty and wonder of what is. In order to appreciate it, we must, as Dean Slider says, relax into the infinite. Just like the daily word today, find our inner peace, turn within, relax into that. Now, I realize that when we let go of an attachment or our preferred course for how things are going to work out or our relationship, whatever it might be, that it feels like we're falling into an abyss. That's how I felt after my divorce. But we're not falling into an abyss. We're really falling into God. We're really falling into infinite love, to this abiding presence, whether you call it God or infinite peace or divine wisdom or the unknown or the way of all there is. We are falling into that, and it is that deep love and presence that will support us and see us through. In fact, we can work on this such that our connection with this presence, our knowledge of spirit within us and all around us becomes our ballast in any storm. It keeps us centered, keeps us in harmony. And the beauty of this is that this wonderful presence is not out here. Well, it is out here, but it's also in here. It's available to us 24/7 if we just remember to tap into it. So once we have done this sort of work and begun to really cultivate our relationship with spirit, step into that clear consciousness, then we are ready to move to the next of the suggestions that Dean Slider offers for inner freedom, and this is a simple one. Bless everyone. Bless everyone. Blessing simply means to hold good thoughts for them, to send warm wishes for health and well-being. A simple blessing for others is, may the peace that passes all understanding be with you now and always. We can bless ourselves in the same way. May the peace that passes all understanding be with me now and always. May I be happy. May I be free of suffering. May all beings be happy and free of suffering. You see, we feel the fullness of Spirit come in and through us and express as us as we bless everyone. There is nevertheless a little bit of preparatory work that can help us get into that space of being able to bless everyone. And Dean Slider offers a few suggestions on that front. How to really sort of till the soil as we move into being in a place of blessing. Do you have the slide there, Richard? And the first one is renounce resentment. Renounce resentment. You can't bless other people if you're feeling resentful towards them. Feeling bitterness over someone else's success or happiness is not going to shift it over to you. It's not. It only poisons us. It blocks rather than fosters our own happiness. The second one, renounce what is called schadenfreude. So you're familiar with this term? Schadenfreude. This one sounds a little wicked to me, but anyway. It's pleasure derived from the misery of others. So think of any time someone has done you wrong and, in your opinion, has perhaps treated you badly, and by golly, they got theirs, right? And you take a little pleasure out of that. Now they're suffering. They caused you hurt, now they're hurting. Well, that's a toxic way to think and live. Slider writes, the joy we drink from the suffering of a fellow being is polluted at the source. There's a purer, more expansive joy in turning down that cup. Don't get caught in that. Next, forgive others. In particular, make a point of forgiving those who have either withdrawn or perhaps withheld love from you. You see, that's where there's always a particularly tender place. And it's especially important to forgive those because that's how we liberate ourselves. And finally, bless those you have judged. We are called to bless those we've judged as other or less than us in some way, you know what, particularly now, because there's a whole lot of judgment going on out there. Bless anyone that we may be thinking of as an other or as an inferior, anyone we're judging, because when we open our hearts, we really bless ourselves, don't we? And we also experience the truth of the expansive oneness that is all of us, all of us. So we may fool ourselves into thinking that if we just keep clinging on to those expectations, if we just push hard enough, that we're going to get people to straighten up and be the way we think they should be. That's a fool's errand. That's an ego game. Really, if you want to be happy, the surest way to be happy is accept what is, appreciate people as they are. They're beautiful in their own ways. Let go of your expectations. Discover what it means to find happiness in simply being. Be that clearing that allows everything to arise and pass. And then from that fullness within you, bless everyone. Because you in turn will be blessed. And you will know freedom. And you will know peace. Let's turn now to our meditation. I invite you to get comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes if you wish. Let's take a deep breath in together. Releasing and letting go. And one more time, a big deep breath in. Imagine breathing in through your heart space. And letting go. And continue breathing in and out through your heart. Feeling the peace of God washing over you. Breathe into this knowing that this divine presence, this source of all love and wisdom and peace is right there within you. And I invite you in this moment to turn your attention to yourself, to consciously acknowledge and then release any expectations you may be holding over yourself, any ways in which you may feel you're not enough or need improvement. In this time, let it go. Breathe into the beauty that you are. Breathe into your uniqueness as an expression of the divine. Imagining for a moment that Jesus or other spiritual masters, ascended masters, whoever it may be for you, is just beaming down unlimited love on you. I invite you to take this into your own heart, to allow yourself to feel this inner peace, the peace that passes all understanding, in the silence. We feel gratitude well up within us as we appreciate our life experience, our life journey to this point. The people who have blessed us, the experiences, the ups and downs, all of it. Knowing, deeply knowing that spark of the divine within us that has seen us through, that has cheered us on, that has led us forward. And giving thanks for all that unfolds from this moment. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Doing a great job over there, Lily. Filling in for Richard. Isn't she something? Well, this is the time in our service for the sharing of our love offering in support of this ministry. I invite you to turn to gratitude in your own heart as you give from that place of devotion and love, knowing how much every bit of your giving is appreciated here, particularly in the summer, which is sort of light months. So thank you for steering us through those prosperously. And with that, I'll invite the ushers to come forward. In your giving, please do remember that you are welcome to give via your smartphone simply by texting the word give to 540-418-1228. A lot of people are taking advantage of that. It just could not be easier, and we appreciate that. Well, let's hold our gifts in our hands now. As we bless them, please join me in our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
by one they tumbled, each one a gift from grace.
We can change our point of view, and gaze upon the beauty that is me, that is you. We see what we want to see and what we wish to be. It's the way that we dreamt it. Key to what we will believe is just to know that everything's a miracle when seen through the eyes of love.
Now when we seem divided and we're feeling very small, that's when there comes the courage to knock a hole out of this world.
We take time to find what's true, and now no other looks upon my soul the way you do. We see what we want to see and what we want to be. It's just the way we dreamed it. The key to what we will believe is just to know that everything's a miracle we see through the eyes of love.
Simple man becomes a king, child flies on tender wings, a woman now becomes a queen. None of us are what we see. A simple man becomes a king, a child flies on silver wings. Everything is possible, just the way we dreamed it. A woman now becomes a queen. None of us are what we seem. Everything's a miracle we see. Everything's a miracle we see through the eyes of love. Through the eyes of love. Through the eyes of love. Oh, through the eyes of love. Through the eyes of
Everything's a miracle. Through the eyes of love. Isn't that beautiful? We played that song in our wedding. Come on. I love that song. Let's take a moment to turn to gratitude within, feeling the blessings of this day, feeling there's miracles. Get my phone blessing in here. All the many blessings of this place, this time, this life. We're so grateful for these gifts so generously shared. We're grateful for those giving online as well. And now we send these gifts forth as we transform lives that transform the world. Thank you, and so it is. Amen. Hey, thanks. Good job today, bringing up the kids. All right. This is a time in our service when we welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1, 2, or 3. There we have it. Nice. First timer over here, one in the back. Beautiful. If you're here for the first time today, there's a little card in that bag. Fill it out, take it into the bookstore. You get a free CD that's a copy of a previous service. When you come back for the second time, you get 2 CDs, one of positive, uplifting music from Empower Music and Arts, and the other of Sacred Unity recordings. And on your third visit here, you get a copy of our daily devotional of the Daily Word. So thanks for being with us today. I hope we see you again and again.
Okay, so from today until the 11th, just 2 weeks from today, the school supply drive is still on. So you'll see a couple of baskets out in the narthex and a sign. We're collecting school supplies for Thurgood Marshall Elementary School, local elementary school here. So please, if you haven't done so already, please give some type of school supplies for the kids.
And you might want to bear in mind, next weekend is tax-free, Virginia tax-free weekend, so it's a great time to get out there and buy those school supplies and not have to pay tax on them. Our next film is coming up in our Higher Consciousness film series. It's this Friday night. It's called Shazam. It's a superhero film. It's very fun, very funny, about a 14-year-old boy who learns he can become a superhero simply by saying Shazam. And so it's a great family film, a wonderful time to get together. We have free popcorn, free admission, and we usually have a little discussion after the film. I'm going to say go ahead and skip the trailer today, Richard, just so we can move right on through things. Thank you. Did you really want to see the trailer? Okay. It's on our website.
Yeah. on August the 10th, Saturday, August the 10th, up in Washington, D.C., there's an event sponsored by Unity of Washington, D.C. It's called Stand Up for Humanity, 6 p.m. In D.C. The event is inviting people throughout the country to join together in prayer, in meditation, and to commit to a transformed self and world. So all are welcomed. There's a flyer out in the narthex for more information. August the 10th, Saturday at 6 p.m. Supposed to be a great event.
Yeah, it'll be a great event, and they're really inviting all Unity churches, of course, people beyond Unity churches, to come and be a part of it. I think it's their 3rd annual one of these. This one will have some special speakers. Mary Ann Williamson will be there, as well as Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, Donna Johnson, who's the CEO of Unity Worldwide Ministries, and some other great speakers. So if you can fit that into your schedule, I know it's going to be an absolutely fabulous, very inspiring event. So next Sunday, woohoo, it's happening! So next Sunday, we're having our groundbreaking celebration. So there will be only one service next Sunday. How many services? One service. You guys are going to be fine because it's at 11 o'clock. But at the end of the service, we'll all go outside into the parking lot area where this expansion is going to be built, and we'll have a beautiful ceremony out there. It'll be just a great chance to just be in gratitude and to bless this project as we go forward to build a new education wing, fellowship hall, expanded kitchen, bathroom storage, etc. Gosh, I'm just so grateful to all of you and to the vision that has been held here for so long, finally coming to fruition. So please plan to join us for that. It's going to be a great day. You are invited on that day to wear Turning Point colors. Turning Point was our campaign about a year ago now. And those colors are teal, bright yellow, or orange. And we actually have, to help you out here if you want one, we have, starting today, for the very first day, we have Unity Renaissance t-shirts. And they're available in our bookstore, and they say on the back, I choose Unity. Isn't that sweet? So big thanks to Ginger and Janet for getting those made for us and stocked, and you're welcome to wear that next Sunday. And
all different sizes, and men's and women's and children.
All right.
Something for
and then stick around after the groundbreaking celebration for Hot Dog Sunday. Our men's group is going to make hot dogs for us. It's going to be a great day, great weather, great fellowship. So we're looking forward to that. Big day.
And even more fun, on August the 11th, we're having our summer picnic right here. So please come out for that. There will be, it's a BYO, so bring your own lunch, but there will be lemonade and iced tea and refreshments and watermelon and other snacks available. But lots of fun on Sunday the 11th, 2 weeks from today, right here on our grounds. So.
Great. That concludes our announcements for today. I want to say so long to those watching online. You are with us in spirit. We're sending just tons of love your way, and hope that you'll be able to join us here sometime soon. And with that, let's stand and welcome in our children.